Book 7 Judges Chapter 1. After the death of Joshua, the people of Israel asked the Lord, "Who shall go up first for us against the Canaanites to fight against them?" The Lord answered, "Judah shall go up. Look, I have given the land into his hand." So Judah said to his brother Simeon, "Come up with me into my allotted territory, and let us fight against the Canaanites. And I likewise will go with you into your allotted territory." So Simeon went with him. Judah went up, and the Lord gave the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand. They struck down 10,000 men at Bezek. They found Adoni-bezek at Bezek and fought against him. They struck down the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Adoni-bezek fled, but they pursued him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and his big toes. Adoni-bezek said, 70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off, used to gather up scraps under my table. As I have done, so God has repaid me. They brought him to Jerusalem and he died there. Then the men of Judah fought against Jerusalem and captured it. They struck it with the edge of the sword and set the city on fire. Afterward the men of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites who lived in the hill country, in the Negev and in the lowland. Judah marched against the Canaanites who lived in Hebron. The name of Hebron was formerly Kiriath-arba. They struck down Sheshai, Ahiman and Talmai. From there he went against the inhabitants of Debir. The name of Debir was formerly Kiriath-sepher. Caleb said, "I will give my daughter Achsah in marriage to the man who attacks and captures Kiriath-sepher." Othniel the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, captured it. So Caleb gave him his daughter Achsah as a wife. When she came to him, she urged him to ask her father for a field. She got off her donkey and Caleb said to her, "What do you want?" She replied, "Give me a blessing. Since you have given me the land of the Negev, also give me springs of water." So Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. The descendants of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up from the city of palms with the people of Judah, into the wilderness of Judah, which lies in the Negev near Arad. They went and settled with the people. Judah went with his brother Simeon, and they struck down the Canaanites who inhabited Zephath, and completely destroyed it. So the city was called Hormah. Judah also captured Gaza with its territory, Ashkelon with its territory, and Ekron with its territory. The Lord was with Judah, and he took possession of the hill country. But he could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley because they had iron chariots. Moses had given Hebron to Caleb, and he drove out from it the 3 sons of Anak. The Benjaminites did not drive out the Jebusites who lived in Jerusalem. So the Jebusites have lived with the Benjaminites in Jerusalem to this day. The house of Joseph went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them. The house of Joseph sent men to spy out Bethel. The name of the city was formerly Luz. The spies saw a man coming out of the city and they said to him, "Please show us the entrance to the city and we will deal kindly with you." So he showed them the entrance to the city, and they struck the city with the edge of the sword, but they let the man and all his family go. The man went to the land of the Hittites and built a city, and called its name Luz. That is its name to this day. Manasseh did not take possession of Bethshean and its surrounding towns, nor of Tanakh and its surrounding towns, nor the inhabitants of Dor and its surrounding towns, nor the inhabitants of Ibleam and its surrounding towns, nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and its surrounding towns. So the Canaanites continued to live in that land. When Israel grew strong, they put the Canaanites to forced labor but did not drive them out completely. Ephraim did not drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, so the Canaanites lived among them in Gezer. Zebulun did not drive out the inhabitants of Kitron or the inhabitants of Nahalal, so the Canaanites lived among them and became forced laborers. Asher did not drive out the inhabitants of Akko or the inhabitants of Sidon or of Alab or of Aksib or of Helbah or of Aphik or of Rehob, so the Asherites lived among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land, for they did not drive them out. Naphtali did not drive out the inhabitants of Beth-Shemesh or the inhabitants of Beth-Anath, so they lived among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. But the inhabitants of Beth-Shemesh and Beth-Anath became forced laborers for them. The Amorites pressed the people of Dan back into the hill country, and would not let them come down to the plain. The Amorites persisted in living in Mount Heres, in Aijalon and in Shaalbim, but the power of the house of Joseph pressed them, and they became forced laborers. The boundary of the Amorites ran from the ascent of Akrabim, from Selah and upward.